17243. I am Larry Elder. We are ReliefFactor.com studio. Yeah, the statement that Chuck Schumer made, you won't know what hits you. That sounds pretty physical. And Maxine Waters, form a crowd, you push back on them. Now, notice the theme here. It isn't let's try to convince the other side of the correctness of our position. It's you don't think the way I think. You're not welcome anywhere anymore. This is where we are now. Anderson Cooper, listen to this.
You know, part of it, I think, just based on what you were just saying, it comes to mind, the idea of otherizing people is something I think we saw a lot of over the last 4 years. I mean, it's something we've seen a lot over the last decades, but...
Otherizing. This is the kind of word that you use in a sociology class. What the hell does that mean? Republicans are otherizing people. You mean Republicans are criticizing people because of policies? Otherizing? And they all sit there and they have these meetings at 9 o'clock in the morning. They all exchange sentences. These people are just too much. I was talking to a lefty a few years ago, and he was talking about how George Herbert Walker Bush was out of touch, and he didn't know what a grocery scanner was. And I said, excuse me. The story about the grocery scanner is false. He's what? I said it was printed in an article in the New York Times. I believe it was in the front page. And it accused George Herbert Walker Bush of not knowing what a grocery scanner was. That's how out of touch he was. He was at a convention in Florida, Orlando, Florida, as I recall. And he was being shown around all these different devices. And he was shown a machine that can read torn barcodes. And he expressed some fascination by that. But he knew what a scanner was. Now, the event was so boring that the media sent what they call a pool reporter, P-O-O-L, a pool reporter. That is one reporter, and that reporter would file a germane story, and anybody could use it who wants to use it. New York Times didn't even send anybody. It was somebody else that was sent. And that guy wrote a 3 or 4 page summary of what happened, and did not include anything about George Herbert Walker Bush not knowing what a scanner was. I don't know where that came from. And so the guy that was running the grocery convention, the guy that showed George Herbert Walker Bush around, was contacted after the article came out. And he said, what? He said, I was with him. He knew what a scanner was. What he was fascinated by, and what I was fascinated by, is this new device that can read a torn barcode. And yet this thing went all around because it advanced the image, the agenda, the narrative that this guy is a patrician, head in the air. Somebody once said he's the kind of guy who stepped out of a shower to take a leak. By the way, when I told that to my mom, that somebody once said that in a mocking way about George Herbert Walker Bush, she said, don't all men step out of the shower when they take a leak? And I said, Mom, and we only have one shower in the house. I said, Mom, you think Dad gets out of the shower and Kirk and Dennis and I get out of the shower? And she said, yes, I assumed you did. I said, Mom, I think I would wear flippers if I were you from now on, just to be on the safe side. So, it advanced the narrative, and it was a lie. It wasn't true. Just as Donald Trump never said there's good Nazis and bad Nazis. I mean, honestly, how can you people accuse Republicans of engaging in conspiracy theories, of being anti-science, of being anti-fact, when even Jake Tapper on CNN and Michael Smerconish on CNN both said, you know, we looked back at this tape and we were wrong. All right, okay, didn't say we were wrong. Tapper didn't say that. They didn't say wrong, but they said we reviewed the tape. Mr. McConnell, can you put up the Jake Tapper and Michael Smerconish both saying that Donald Trump did not say there were good Nazis and bad Nazis? It should be pretty easy to find. Thanks. So you have two hosts. One is a daily host. The other is weekend. One is a daily host who said it ain't true. We went back, we looked at the tape, and the man said, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists because they should be condemned totally. And it doesn't matter. Joe Biden was on CNN after Tapper and after Schmachonic came out and said it again. And nobody on CNN said anything. Mocked a handicap reporter? No, he didn't. As I tried to explain to the caller the other day, I think it was a voicemail, so we didn't have a dialogue. Larry, he did mock a handicap reporter. You didn't. Look, he did mock him. But he didn't mock him because of his disability, nor was he imitating his disability. The reporter doesn't gyrate like that. He has an atrophied arm. And that gesture that Donald Trump used, as I've said now for years, is the same gesture that he's used to mock himself. He used it on an able-bodied general. Knock it off.